There we go. Okay. We got a lot to cover today because we're covering everything. And that's a lot. Okay. Why am I not on page one? Hold on. I know at least one of you is going to get God's first joke here. Come on, Roxy.
There are 10.
No math majors, huh? There are only 10 types of types of people in the world. Those who understand binary and those who don't. Binary are ones and zeros. Swabby, you got that, didn't you?
Uh,
Okay.
I'm kind of understanding adjacent to it. Yeah.
Okay. My wife got it right away, which is funny. She's a liberal arts major like me. Oh, well.
I don't get it.
You don't get it. Binary computer ASCII code is written in ones and zeros. So the number 10 is a 1 and a 0. Okay, moving on.
We can't explain it, dearly.
Okay, numbers.
Charm.
There. By the way, that's my name tag in ASCII code. My name is Brian. Yes, and I'll be your host today. Numbers are the building blocks of creation. Who would have guessed that God could compile a universe out of ones and zeros? And this is my name badge expressed in binary ASCII code, which stands for the American Standard Code for Information Exchange. Why is this important? We're talking numbers, aren't we? Well, yes and no. We're talking creation. Here's a familiar quote I'm guessing you've heard. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was over the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning the first day. So where's the zero here? In the beginning. Exactly. In the beginning, there was only nothing. There was God. God called creation into existence, which became one. Actually, there are two numbers here. There's one, because he created light. When he separated light from darkness, that's two. Okay, what are we talking about today? Well, let's go back a bit. Should we talk about the importance of numbers since creation? We've only got 20 minutes, so I'm saying no. But that would take too long for today, but I'm going to take you back a bit. Today in our studies of numbers, specifically esoteric numerology, we're going back to 570 BC. Is that long far back enough? To the island of Samos in the Aegean Sea where Pythagoras was born. He's remembered primarily as a philosopher. People think of him as a mathematician, which he was, but he was primarily a philosopher, and one of the fathers of mathematics, most commonly for the Pythagorean theorem, which is what we have here, which states that the square of the hypotenuse, which is the longer side of the triangle, hold on, I've lost my spot. Oh, the right triangle is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Most of what we know about Pythagoras is from his followers, which included Plato and Aristotle. Our studies today concern his interest in numbers. But first, a word from our sponsor. Much of what I have to say today about Pythagoras and esoteric numerology is from Numerology and the Divine Triangle by Faith Javine and Dusty Bunker. The book was recommended to me by my mentor in my early days of studying tarot. All things are built on numbers. Okay. Oh, I think you've seen this before. Who is Pythagoras? Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped. Well, I'm going to read this anyway, and then we'll move on to the slide. As a young man, Pythagoras left home and traveled to Egypt, where he was initiated into certain mathematical doctrines. He was also reported to have studied with Zoroaster, the Persian sage, Zoroastrianism, and to have learned the Kabbalah in Judea. The science of numbers he eventually taught was based on Kabbalistic principles. He believed that everything in the universe was subject to predictable progressive cycles. His means of measuring these cycles were the numbers 1 through 9. Well, what about 10? Well, guess what? 0 didn't exist yet. It wasn't even invented until, Babylon and 3 BC. Didn't come to use in Europe until the 12th century AD. Okay, now we're on the right slide. Sorry, it's hard to go back. This is, okay, okay, hold on. No, we're right. By the way, look up here above the tree of life. We have nothing, limitless, and limitless light. What is this? Who knows what this is? This area above where creation started.
I don't know.
This is God. This is God. And when he sits there and there is only him or her or them or it, that is God. There is only God. There is nothing else. And that's where things began. Okay. Okay, there he is again. We are on slide 8. This is his most important thought for today's talk. If you don't remember anything else, do read this and think about it. He also taught that numbers have a significance apart from the values denoted by the figures. Numbers are different from figures. Numbers represent qualities. Figures represent quantities. Numbers operate on the spiritual plane, while figures are for measuring things on the material plane. Think about that. I will get into it a little bit later. Lucid understanding of these digits is essential in the study of numerology because every number over 9 ultimately reduces to one of those digits, 1 through 9. With a comprehensive knowledge of the meaning of these numbers, one can understand the orderly progression of all life cycles. So let's go on a side trip here. So let's review the numbers 1 through 9 as defined through the lens of Pythagorean esoteric numerology. Didn't know you were in for this today, huh? 1 represents the male principle, the yang. It's the pioneer striking out alone, seeking the experiences which will establish its distinct identity. It is in the process of discovering its distinct identity, discovering its own abilities. It is raw energy, positive, original, and creative, in a state of perpetual motion. Since one is alone and is imbued with so much creative energy, it must decide how its energy will be used. It must take command and have the courage to maintain its direction without fear of opposition. It is the original I am. This is when God created the universe of humanity, the unity of all, the unit of vibrational measuring. It is self-consciousness. 2 is the pair, the duo. It is changeable and adaptable and can also be indecisive. It is the agent, the go-between, the diplomat and peacemaker, because unity can only be accomplished through a meeting of the minds, a compromise on each side. 2 represents the feminine principle, the yin, of receptivity, which seeks a union of 2 distinct entities. It is the gestation period in which things begin to be. It collects and assimilates. It seeks a balance between opposing forces and therefore represents cooperation, attachment, and partnership. It is the peacemaker with an avid attention to detail. Because 2 is so keenly aware of opposites, it has a pronounced sense of rhythm and harmony. Music appeals to its sympathetic and emotional nature. The maternal, patient, and sensitive characteristics of 2 cause it to place others first. 2 is nice before itself. Union is its goal, not separateness. Therefore, it is obedient to and understanding of others. It seeks harmony and assimilation above all. 3 combines the qualities of 1 and 2. It is a fascinating and diversified vibration carrying the qualities of manifestation and self-expression. The ion, which sprang into existence from 0, sought to assert its individuality under 1 and felt the attraction of others under 2. Now awakens to its need for social interaction. You know, the 3 of cups or 3 of anything in the tarot is always having fun, toasty, being with others. A 3 is the need to communicate and become involved in the pure joy of living. Through its exuberant response to life, 3 bestows sunny radiance and enthusiasm upon all. 3 is the extrovert whose personal magnetism draws others and inspires them to expand and grow. It is the performer who possesses an innate appreciation of pleasure, romance, art, and beauty. Its creative imagination allows all things to be possible. It therefore becomes involved in many emotions and experiences. 3 is friendly and expansive, thriving on sociability and variety. If any of the numbers could be called happy-go-lucky, it would be the effervescent 3. 4, a little bit different. 4 is stability. Think of a chair, the legs of a chair, the legs of a table. A 4-square consciousness, the symbol of law, system, and order. It is firmness, security, stability, and conservatism. It is the builder who must submit to earthly things where form and substance are the predominant elements. 4 is nature and relates to the earth. The formation of the earth took place on the 4th day in the biblical story of creation. The attraction the ions felt under 2 led to the interaction under 3. Now, under 4, the inevitable concentration of energies occurs. Formation takes place. The ions realize they can no longer scatter their energies, but must now begin to place them in a productive, orderly system. Get the feel of 4 here? 4 therefore develops a practical nature and through self-discipline binds itself to a conventional routine exercise of its energy. 5, freedom, change, and adventure. Breaking out of that 4. Curiosity and constant activity produce a resourceful, adaptable, and versatile entity, always ready to take a change. Since 5 is the midpoint in the cycle 1 through 9, it allows for decision-making. It might be called the pivotal point, in which the ions, now encased in flesh and form, must decide upon their future in the rest of the cycle 6 through 9. It now meets with many opportunities and varieties of experience, through which it will be given the information it needs to make that decision. 5 is involved in much superficial interaction with groups and crowds. Because of its past varied experiences, it is the natural promoter and advertiser. I bet it's a salesperson too, fluent in communications with a little information about a lot of things. Oh, that's me. And a desire to travel here and there to communicate it. 5 attracts the opposite sex because of an irresistible magnetism. And this attraction sets the stage for the domestic responsibilities which naturally follow under the 6. Hey, where's my 6? It's way over here. 6 is conscientious. It desires to bring harmony, truth, justice, and a sense of balance into its environment. Love and compassion are uppermost in its mind, and it can therefore be an effective teacher, counselor, or healer. Others are drawn to it because of the understanding which emanates from it. The ions under 5 had the opportunity to experience many events and emotional encounters. They are now ready to take on social and family responsibilities. Or the 6 vibration. 6 is a domestic and artistic vibration, and under this number, the ions must adjust to the needs of others. The 6 desires a close companion, marriage and a home and family where beauty and harmony prevail. The need for group harmony and service to the community follows naturally. 6 settles down leaning into the conservative element of the community where it can create better standards of living. Gifted in the arts, it can also express its creative potential through its developed sense of balance and become a fine artist in its own field. 7. Oh, we're closing in on home. 7 seeks answers. It tries to establish a philosophy by which to live and attempts to penetrate the mystery behind its existence, which it has never questioned up to this point. Because solitude is necessary for analysis, the 7 feels a need to spend time alone, away from the crowds, in touch with nature. It looks for friendship and those of an elevated consciousness that can match its own. And on the 7th day, God rested. All things rest under the 7 because time is needed in which to think. The ions under 7 feel poised and calm. They realize that now they need to be still and to know. They have established a routine for their energy, and now analysis begins. 7 ushers into the cycle a physical completion without apparent effort. Goals that have been long sought are now magically attained. Spare time is available in which to be philosophical and metaphysical. Spare time is available in which philosophical and metaphysical interests can be pursued. Perfected thinking is the goal of 7, which is why it is called the sacred number, 7 chakras. It is why scientists, philosophers, teachers, mystics, and the clergy come under its influence. The physical facet of 7 also relates to the health of the body, which is highly sensitized through this vibration. 8 will assume power, sort of mirroring the 4 here a little bit. For it now has achieved control and responsibility in its chosen field. Recognition of financial rewards are bestowed, and expansion and growth in the business world takes place. Under 8, karma is king, but we're encased in the world now, and the ions will reap what they have sown. Power is the quality associated with 8, ardor, zeal, steadfastness, and the ability to see in broad terms, give the ambition and added qualities needed to achieve material goals. 8 has the drive to overcome all obstacles and eventually to succeed through ability and perseverance. 8 can now go to the very top with the ideas and plans that have been formulated gradually during the last 7 cycles. Through fair and ethical standards, good judgment, and organizational abilities, it will achieve recognition, power, and financial remuneration. Okay, we're at 9. See, it's not even nearly 2 o'clock. You were thinking I'd go on and on. We're at 9, the end. 9 is selflessness and compassion, encompassing a love for all. It desires to apply its energy to universal service. It bestows a personal but just view of life, one that is generous, benevolent, and patient. This reminds me of Zen, Buddhism. It bestows an impersonal, but, we just read that. This is the artist and thinker who has developed skills through the preceding cycles and is now ready to share his or her knowledge with the rest of the world. The ions are in their final stage of completion. They have traveled the entire cycle of 9 parts, ingesting experiences along the way. Now in the closing cycle, they reach a total understanding and tolerance of others' views and prejudices. 9 is ready to give back to the universe and some measure of what it has learned through the 8 previous steps of the cycle. The law of cyclicity allows for, is that really a word? Cyclicity allows for no waste and demands input for output. When this is done willingly, the completion experience under the 9 brings only joy at the gift of life and the freedom with which to enter the next cycle unencumbered. Okay, that was a lot, I know. But really, it was only 9 things. 8, 9, okay. Numbers are fundamental to everything. Thank you, Divine Spirit, for giving us a glimpse of your building blocks of creation.